Hey everyone, this is Roland here. Welcome and thank you for being here. And today I'm going to be talking about what we should be doing and the mindset we should have as the enemy is trying to stop the call of God on our lives and trying to attack the purpose of God on our lives. And that's what happened to Paul because God had a call on his life and the enemy tried to attack it. So let's get into it because I think there's some things in there that we can learn from that will encourage us to keep on going no matter how hard it gets, no matter how intense the attack gets. So let's get into it. And as we know in the story of Paul, he obeys the Lord and he's going around and he's doing what God has called him to do. But when he gets to Jerusalem, the Jews see him and then they arrest him and he's on trial. And that is where we pick up the story. So let's go to Acts 23, verse 11. And it says, the following night, the Lord stood near Paul and said, "Take courage. As you have testified about me in Jerusalem, so you must also testify in Rome." So here we see that God is giving Paul a clear instruction. That's clear instruction saying, I want you to testify for me in Rome. And that's the word that Paul is given. But something happens immediately after that. And we see it in verse 12. And it says, the next morning, some Jews formed a conspiracy and bound themselves with an oath not to eat or drink until they had killed Paul. More than 40 men were involved in this plot. So we see that the Lord tells Paul his plan, that I want you to go to Rome to testify. But it says immediately the next morning, there was a conspiracy and a plan to kill Paul. And that was the enemy coming and trying to stop the call of God on his life, trying to kill him. But there's two things that I want to highlight from that scripture and from that story. And it says, and I was saying, as soon as God spoke to Paul about what he had planned for him, the enemy struck. And that's what the enemy does, right? He's trying to stop the call of God on our lives. But the second thing is, no matter how strong the enemy's attack was, the Lord stopped it because Paul in the end did testify in Rome. So no matter how hard the enemy tried to stop God's call on Paul's life, he did not succeed because God was with him and God protected him and brought him to Rome to testify. And that's our encouragement, that no matter how much the enemy tries to attack the call of God on our lives, that God is with us. And no matter how intense the battle seems, and even though it seems at times that the enemy is winning, that God will succeed. God will bring to pass what he has promised in our lives, that the call of God will be accomplished. And that's my encouragement. And another story, just to quickly go over it, which is similar to that, is the Israelites. And, and from the scripture we know, let's go there quickly with Moses. And that's in Exodus 4, verse 29, and we know the story that God sends Moses and Aaron to encourage the Israelites to say, I am with you, I will be with you, and I'm going to deliver you. And it says, Moses and Aaron brought together all the elders of the Israelites, and Aaron told them everything the Lord said to Moses. He also performed the signs before the people, and they believed. And when they heard that the Lord was concerned about them and had seen their misery, they bowed down and worshipped. So here we have again the Lord speaking to the Israelites saying, I'm going to help you, I'm going to deliver you. And there were signs and wonders, and it was all clear, and they were happy saying, it is done. But again, as soon as the Lord spoke his promise to them, something else happened. So for that, let's go quickly to Exodus 5, verse 6. And it says that same day, Pharaoh gave his order to the slave drivers and overseers in charge of the people. You are no longer to supply the people with straw for making bricks. Let them go and gather their own straw. And as you read throughout, now things get tougher and things get harder. And it seems like they are doomed because now the Israelites are being oppressed and being attacked, and they're like, oh man, we are in trouble. So again, we see a pattern that God speaks to his people and the enemy attacks after that, trying to stop the call of God on our lives. And the encouragement again is to keep on going, keep on doing what God has called you, no matter how intense it seems, because again, we know here is that God did deliver Israel from Pharaoh. He did deliver them from Egypt, no matter how powerful they seemed, no matter how intent they were on keeping them, that didn't happen because God delivered his people. And in Paul's case, Paul did testify in Rome. So that's the word, that's the encouragement. Keep on trusting in God in this time, no matter how difficult it seems, no matter how much it seems that the enemy is winning. God will fulfill his promise, and you will fulfill the call of God on your life as long as you keep on looking and trusting in the Lord. So with that, God bless, and we will see you in the next episode.